Hi everybody, Tori Hartman here with a psychic viewpoint. I guess it's a minute or two. You know, for those of you familiar or not familiar, a couple of years ago in Arizona, James Arthur Ray led a sweat lodge, and a couple people died during that sweat lodge. And it's now going to trial in Arizona, and I've been following it. And you know, not to take a perspective or a side, because it's tragic when these kinds of circumstances take place. The thing that has really come forward to me is, you know, when something like that happens, you know, especially, you know, I'm psychic. I'm not a therapist. I'm not. I don't pretend to know everything for you, and I certainly don't know your answers. And I think that when something like that happens, it immediately brings up for me, like, where is our tribe? Where is our community, if you will, of getting honest feedback? You know, once you get to, I guess, the place he was at, it's like, you know, don't you call other people? Like, don't you have a council almost? And it's interesting, I was just talking about it with Ashley, and I said, I'm not sure how to, you know, because I've just been fascinated with this trial and the different points of view and the different things that have gone, that people are saying that went on there. And I don't know why I am, and I guess Ashley suggested I pull a card. So I just did, and it's interesting because I actually pulled Sky Blue, and interestingly, in this is the only card in the deck where the Sky God is not sure what to name his sky, what color to name it, and he calls forth all of his peers. He calls Earth Mother, and he calls Goddess and Night Wind, and he calls the different elements together to ask what he should do. And ultimately, they say to him, "It's your decision," but they support him in finding a solution for himself and ultimately finding his truth. And in that truth, he finds that he's going to name his Sky Blue. And the reason this is important for me is that it reminds me that as a teacher, I always have to be teachable. And I don't have your answer. You know, the reality is that when you come to me or someone comes to me for a reading, I pull together the energy that Spirit is telling me. But, you know, at the end of the day, the biggest support I can give you is that of finding your own answers and finding really inside what's right for you. I'm not making any judgment on what happened in Arizona, and I certainly feel that the entire circumstance was a tragedy. And I think that in pulling Sky God, it just reminds me that, you know, we don't know what to do. And I for me, in observing some of the things that happened there, it just, you know, in our human form, we don't have answers. And it's so important for us. I know for me it is, and this is something that this has really brought forward, is that to really check myself constantly, you know, like, especially in the work I do. And I've been talking about this lately, is that it makes me so nervous because I don't like the idea of a guru. You know, I feel that I have a gift, and it's a gift just like someone who can speak languages, or someone who, you know, is good with numbers. They can be an accountant or a doctor who can help heal people. My gift is that I talk to Spirit. Comes a plane. We've been like dealing with planes all morning. But I think the thing is, that really comes forward to me with blue, is that in this circumstance is it's true blue, and it's the truth coming out. And what's really interesting is how the truth has so many different perspectives. The bottom line is, the dogs just found a squirrel. The bottom line is this, that blue is about truth, and it's about being true to yourself and really communicating from that place. So I think that's kind of that is my message for the week, is just, you know, being true to yourself. And when you find yourself in circumstances that you don't know what to do, there's always a squirrel, isn't there? Listen, have a great week, and I hope to see you soon.